Welcome, everyone. Happy Monday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Monday, August 4th, 2025. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please have the first two cards in our 5 card spread? First two cards we are starting our day off with today are, oh my goodness. Should I reshuffle? Okay, let's get to it. We've got here our Ace of Pentacles in its reversal and our Tower card. But I think that this is really important right now because, as I've mentioned, this is what I like to describe. I feel like what we're experiencing right now is probably the roughest energy that we're probably going to experience during this retrograde cycle. All right, let's walk through why. So, and I was talking about this yesterday. We're going to continue that conversation. We got a lot of planets in retrograde right now. And a lot of those planets are retrograding in Aries. Most particularly, I don't want anybody telling me that that you're feeling like this because Mercury retrograde right now. Mercury retrograde is not is not the issue. We got bigger things to worry about. Neptune and Saturn retrograding together can create a lot of frustration as it relates to working through deep lessons, particularly deep lessons related to the past. And the thing about it, and I keep on seeing, the past is beautiful. The past is a library. We learn a lot of things in the context of the past. Neptune and Saturn retrograding together is the observation that when we are working in positive ways, and this is all what we're also seeing with the work that we see with the fact that Chiron is also in retrograde. When we are in a healthy space, we work in the context of the past that articulates and says that we go through things so others don't have to. It's the observation of understanding that the force of love is the pathwork by which we work and we strive to do something in a better way. Now, one of the things that we're effectively energetically seeing right now that's happening with a lot of these planets retrograding was a lot of the work in terms of feeling energetically frustrated can have to do with the observation of, I keep on seeing, the healthy energetic cycles that allow for the context of progress, right? We feel fortified in healthy relationships when we're able to identify how far we've come. The journey of change, even being able to identify and recognize that change. And it's an honor to change, right? It's the space by which we see, like we work through that past to allow us to be fortified in the present. But when we're more in the space of working through frustration, and this is what we have to be conscientious about, we always want to avoid harboring our emotions, right? Because when we harbor our emotions, we dwell within them. And often it can create that space of working through the context of our own frustration. But that's why we've been seeing a lot of the messages coming through in this retrograde cycle is understanding that frustration plus hope is creativity, right? It is the awakening to the possibilities that are before us. But this is why it's so important that we work through the context of what it is. And I keep on hearing, healing is not getting rid of things. Right? Healing is not the context where you just say, and this is why, again, when someone's going through trauma, there's nothing the worst to say to someone than to say, you got to get over that. You can never get over trauma. But and this is why I keep on seeing that the Mercury retrograding in Leo is so empowering and so impactful, particularly in the space of this retrograde. Because you'll have to remember that Mercury retrogrades help us understand what we need to innovate upon. So what did we see when we have the blunt, like the force of Neptune and Saturn retrograding together? It's the observation of what we've always felt that says to us there has to be a better way to carry it, right? And that's what we talk about in the realm of honoring feelings, because honoring feelings, and this is a big message that's been coming through, honoring feelings is not being respective of all feelings. Honoring feelings is about understanding and identifying where the feelings come from so that one can understand what to do with them. Because it's also the understanding that we often create the feelings in very traumatizing places, right? The understanding of quality over quantity. And when we're doing that work to understand ourselves. We are qualitative in understanding the emotions that we're working to have something delivered upon, right? The emotions that convey something that we can ask for outside of the self versus something that we're working on internally. So that's what I mean in relationality to this being some big energy right now. I'm going to tell you right now, in the same context that I see energy falling into separation right now, I see a lot of energy deepening into relationship in the midst of a lot of this intensity. And a lot of it that we keep on seeing is respective of the understanding of what one is trying to heal from versus what one is able to heal mutually. Because what we're effectively seeing right now, and the one thing I want to stress is, if you feel like and the reason I'm saying that the next 3 days that we've kind of gone through are the most intense of this particular retrograde cycle, center card for today's spread. Yep, we've got the Empress card coming out. And so I want to describe this because the thing is, we've also got, on top of the fact that we've got a lot of the planets retrograding right now, we also had Venus that moved into Cancer. Now, often you have to understand that Cancer can talk towards things that we're energetically sensitive about. Cancer is often dealing in the space of vulnerability. Well, we already had, right? We already had Jupiter in Cancer, which has been creating a lot of that hypersensitivity that we've been experiencing for like a good portion of this year. To add Venus into Cancer also creates the space of something from the past, right? Something come from the past still rising up and feeling a lot of that vulnerability and sensitivity around it. But this is why I keep on seeing that Mercury retrograding in Leo is helpful in this context, because it works to help us identify and recognize that the way we heal from things is not by forcing ourselves to disassociate and let go, but to change the context by which we carry something. Because when we are carrying trauma, and we allow for the context of being able to feel it, we allow it to serve as creating an altar within us. And when we say an altar, we mean an altar as in a change, right? The altar that becomes the alteration of the self that says, right? And this is what we mean with the lesson of Chiron. The journey of becoming the self is not forgetting every bad thing that happened to you, but it's the observation of recognizing how you changed in the wake of it. So I keep on seeing that for a lot of these relationships right now, this impact of how it's occurring in separation, I've got 2 different modalities that are happening right now in separation. I've got either energy that is working in separation in the context of healing from unhealthy energetic cycles. And what I keep on seeing, and this is what I think is the beauty of Saturn and Neptune retrograding together, because Saturn and Neptune retrograding in such close proximity, what does that say to us? Time does not fix things, right? If these are circumstances or situations where someone was trying to apply time to fix something, it's the observation that time doesn't fix things. Time hopes that we forget. Like time applied to a frustration is the desire for someone to become energetically forgetful, right? And so that context, like that observation, what's beautiful is either these are energies that are potentially in separation, having some kind of energetic situation or scenario of someone from the past energetically returning. But it's the observation that time does not serve as a chalkboard erase moment. It serves as a bookmark. And often, and this is why I wouldn't be surprised if there might be some frustration arising in energy that's experiencing this, right? When we experience a situation where another person is trying to like wait out a frustration, and then they energetically return back to us, and we're in the context of healing from something, and someone tries to, like, I keep on seeing, like, it's almost like the energy that says accountability or nothing at all. Like the ability that articulates upon the energetic accountability point by which we identify what it is that one can work through. Like, I love these two cards in combination because the Tower card and the Empress card works towards, it's not just navigating the quantity of feelings, understanding that the quantity of feelings sometimes occur and arrive to us in traumatizing situations. So this is the energy that if someone's trying to come back in this context, it's the observation of someone that's either trying to energetically return, hoping that something is energetically forgotten, or the identification point of being able to recognize and identify where the work is. And so I keep on seeing that for a lot of energy right now, this is a time where there's some very healthy work being done in relationality to closing or ending some unhealthy cycles that are all being built upon the context of understanding that everything can be healed, but only if the work is mutual. Right? Because if there is something that is energetically wrong and the work is not mutual, then another person is not asking to heal something. They're asking us to endure it. And so I keep on hearing that these new relationships that are coming together right now, what are they saying to each other? Love is not an endurance exercise. Like, that's what's so beautiful about the conversation, the subtext of the conversation that's happening right now in a lot of these relationships. They're saying to one another, healthy relationships should not be the observation of recognizing how much one can take. It's the work that we do on ourselves that say, I work so that you don't have to, right? It's a lot of that, like, and this is interesting because I told you, because the planets are retrograding in Aries, right? This is often the lesson that we see with those in Aries cycles, because Aries cycles often arrive here as the rebel without a clause, right? The Aries cycles often arrive here saying to themselves, right? If you can't take me at my worst, you don't deserve me at the best. And what does the healed Aries say? If you can't take me at my worst, I don't blame you. That's ridiculous. I am ridiculous. The energy says, like, it's the concession point in understanding that we work to heal so that others don't have to experience us in our unhealed state. Now, continuing to get clarification for a lot of the energy moving deeper into energetic connection right now. Yep. Ooh, I'm sorry. The reason I made that noise is because we have the Four of Swords here in its upright in combination with our Queen of Swords. And the reason I got all excited is because these two cards were in our reading yesterday. If you are watching the podcast, make sure that you head over to the Substack so you can see today's spread. Man, because this is the thing. We ended, I believe, I need to double confirm, but I'm almost positive we ended yesterday's reading yesterday with this Four of Swords. So this is picking up right where we left off yesterday in the conversation on the cards. So what are we effectively identifying here? For a lot of the energy right now moving deeper into divine union, I keep on getting there's some energy right now that is deep within, that is moving into divine union, that's expediting a timeline. It's a lot of what are we waiting for kind of energy, right? I see some energy right now that is coming into divine union. And you'll remember this energy was going through it. They were going through it a couple of weeks ago, because you'll recall that we articulated upon some of that energy. Those are the magician partnerships that were coming together from about the time of the solstice period up until the time that Mercury and Venus stationed direct behind Neptune, right? The observation and recognition of identifying what one is able to find in healthy partnership. These are not relationships where they're building into the potential of the person, but they're working through the pathwork and the lesson that we never build into a relationship based on the potential of a person, but rather the relationship of the self, of the relationship itself. These are the energies that were not only coming into partnership, but being able to see the past in profound ways, given the mutual appreciation that they're finding in the context of healthy counterpart. And they are so riveted to the relationship itself that I see a lot of this energy saying it feels silly to wait to move towards a manifestation goal, because often we see that type of expedition that occurs when we feel the sense of true alignment. So I would not be surprised if there's conversations happening right now for some energy moving deeper into divine union, like advancing timelines, because it feels unnecessary not to. This brings us to a lot of the energy right now deep within divine union, clarification between our Ace of Pentacles in combination with our Tower card in its upright. We've got our Ace of Swords here. Wow. So let's talk a bit about this. And I want to say, so I feel like, and I'm going to put it this way, the place that we're seeing that this energy may feel the most intense right now, And this is just to show you that qualitatively, it's not that one place on the frequency is better than the other. This is the hardest energy right now for the energy deep within divine union, because it's not the frustration the frustration that is potentially working through the progress, right? You'll notice, I'll put it this way, for a lot of the energy right now coming into divine union and moving deeper into divine union, the frustration is the observation of the progress in a relationship, right? It's actually progressing the energy in the direction of healthy partnership right now. But if you're already deeply invested in healthy partnership, this is why this may feel like more of an energetically creative time and potentially taking unconventional approaches to navigating through frustration. Because you'll recall that we spoke about last week, a big work that we saw that the energy coming into divine union was doing was working on not projecting that frustration onto one another. And often the lessons move up and down the frequency. So this could be a lot of the energy right now, feeling a lot of that energetic frustration, right? It's like it's a little, and again, I feel like the difficulty with the fact that this moon is in Sag right now is it creates that feeling of, I keep on seeing like shortened patience, right? But also a feeling of like wanting to do something. So I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy deep within divine union, it's working on not projecting that energetic irritation point onto counterpart, but rather using, right? And this is what that Aquarius full moon tells us. It's a continuation of the point that frustration plus hope equals creativity. Allowing that frustration to be moved into something that feels like it's energetically creative, that helps one feel like, I keep on seeing, getting a better sense of being able to articulate upon an ineffable feeling of, I keep on hearing, an ineffable feeling of energetic frustration. Now, we're also going to talk about this clarification point right now between the Tower card and our Empress card. One card to clarify. Emperor in its reversal. Wow, this spread today is wild. And I need to point this out. We were talking about this yesterday, because yesterday we had a lot of alignment cards coming through. We had a lot of alignment cards coming through. You can go on to the Substack to see yesterday's cards. Specifically, we had the Queen, we had the King of Wands in its upright in combination with our Queen of Wands in its reversal, okay? We also had the Queen of Swords in combination with a King of Cups in its reversal. So these cards predicate about the fact that there are separations that are occurring right now, but there are also a lot of new energetic connections forming. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am not upset. I'm not upset to see an Empress card in its upright and an Emperor in its reversal, because I know this might sound a little bit confusing, but this is the energy of healthy counterpart, because healthy counterpart does not require us to be in the same modality. It's counterpart because it is the observation of being able to step forward when another person needs to step backward. This is like dance partner energy. You see that? You see what I mean? You know, and that's why I was even saying yesterday, like, there's nothing, I get very nervous when I see a Queen of Wands and a King of Wands together. I'm like, oh no. But when we've got like a queen, when we got one of those wands upright and the other in reversal, it's the attenuation point in being able to understand that healthy relationship isn't about sticking to an energetic role. It's about identifying and recognizing what another's needs are, right? Because when we're able to be identifiable about what another's needs are, we can be energetically adaptable. That creates a lot of that sense of like, look, this is yin yang energy, right? These are the energetic counterparts that create that energetic circuit. So we see even now, that's what I meant with a lot of these energies that are coming into divine union right now. I'm going to tell you right now what I'm seeing. I'm getting some energy right now that's in separation, that's either going through experiences, energy from the past reemerging, but also taking into accountability the understanding that time does not fix things. Time makes us forget things. And the observation of being able to identify and say, like I see the energy saying, I'm not forgetting anything, which is the observation of understanding that healthy relationship does not require us to forget things in order to heal. And at the same time, it's the observation of the past that serves as an energetic library, not an armory. Because why would we want to forget from a past? Because that past shows us what we need to see in order to do something in a better fashion. So I keep on seeing that, like, for a lot of this energy, like, I keep on hearing, like, I've either got energy and separation, potentially even like going into argument spaces with energy coming back from the past, and someone bringing up something that, like, bringing up like the space by which they left something, and someone being like, you're still on that, and being like, yeah, of course, why wouldn't I be? Right? Conversation does not get erased over time. It's the observation of being able to pick up where one left off, right? It's the energy saying, yeah, that's where, like, that, like, I keep on hearing standards do not change in the context of time, but often those that do not hold standards will try to create the sense of being missed in order for another person to lower them. And I almost see someone saying, I keep on hearing energy and separation saying, time doesn't change my standards. Time doesn't change our standards. And but often if, like, someone is not in a space of wanting to meet them, they'll try to make us energetically miss them instead of serving the energetic standard. And I see some energy, like, again, and this is what I meant about this. I'm telling you right now, this Sag moon, and I'm going to tell you right now, this is the thing you have to be conscientious about. The difference between radical honesty and righteous honesty, which is, I feel like there's a lot of clarification that's coming through right now in this type of energy, where energy is articulating exactly how they feel. And the important thing to understand when we're going through this type of energy is radical honesty is the ability to articulate upon something in a way that just immediately helps another person see something from our own potential, right? The observation of another person saying, let me show you what is happening, right? The observation of being able to see something that is fortified via a view that is not carrying emotionality, versus righteous honesty, which is the space by which we try to be honest, but to hurt another person. And often, and we always want to be conscientious of righteous honesty, because the righteous honesty is the honesty that we try to bring to something, not because it heals, but because we know it hurts. So I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy right now, like, I'm going to tell you right now, I see some energy that has been doing that work of healing in a deep way. And almost as these new relationships are forming, something that another person predicated was going to occur is happening right now. I almost see this energy that said, you said to me that this would happen, almost knowing an unhealthy cycle to such an extent that you were able to predicate how another person would try to effectively come back to something. But that's what I keep on seeing about these relationships starting to move deeper into union, because it's the energy that's, like I told you, how are they becoming together right now? They're articulating on the audacity. And when someone, I keep on hearing, it's not about being nice, it's about being courteous. And when another person is not in the context of wanting to take mutual accountability to work upon something, but rather, right, like another person can almost predicate how, like, another person was going to come towards them, I almost see this energy reaffirming to each other and saying, you've got perfect pitch. Right? It's almost like the energy saying to each other, you called it, because it's the space by which you understand and recognize the direction that something is going, right? And what's beautiful about these, I told you, these relationships that are forming right now during this season, these temperance relationships, super solid foundation. Because this is the energy, I keep on hearing, this is the energy that says, I don't let a lot of big feelings get in the way of my direction sense. I don't allow the fact that, and when we're in a healthy space, we can look at our big feelings in such a way that we understand why we have them, but we recognize the quality of them rather than the quantity. This brings us to a lot of the energy right now, moving deeper into divine union, clarification between our Empress card and our Four of Swords in its upright. Boom, two of Wands. Every time I read for the energy coming into divine union, I keep on getting, what are we waiting for? I feel like I see this energy going, I feel like I would not be surprised right now if there's energy moving into divine union that's rapidly advancing a timeline. These are those magician partnerships. They know what they want. These are those magician partnerships that we said were forming from about the time of the solstice up until Mercury and Venus stationed direct behind Neptune. And here's the thing. One of the things you recognize in healthy relationship is you don't feel forced to move something into a deepening connection because you're not looking to change it. But when you're in a healthy space and you know that it's healthy, it seems silly to wait to act upon it, is what I keep on seeing. So I feel like there's a lot of this energy that's just like they're taking some kind of laissez-faire approach to moving into a deeper sense of commitment, because it's the deepening of commitment that doesn't feel like it's going to change anything. It just feels like it just feels like it's articulating it for others. Like it's like I see the energy, like, and I feel like, again, it's like that honesty, right? It's like the song of another person saying, "You complete me." And when you're in that space of feeling like you're energetically complete, it doesn't, I keep on hearing like the deepening of the connection. I keep on hearing, see the energy say it feels silly to do anything to even wait upon it. Like I see the energy just being like, and I keep on hearing like I keep on hearing the energy say, because it's not going to change anything, it either seems silly to wait or it doesn't, like it's like it's almost like them taking a lot more, I keep on hearing a laissez-faire approach to it, because it's something that they're just navigating from a place of delight because they know it's already happened. You know what I mean? Like that's what I keep on seeing. It's like the bond is strong in this one kind of energy, right? The bond is there. It's the understanding of the energetic bond. Continuing to get clarification between our Four of Swords in combination with our Queen of Swords and its upright. One card to clarify, please. Boom. And I told you guys, the hardest space, this is just to show you qualitatively, it's not that there's one place on the frequency that's better than another. This energy is most annoying right now to the energy deep within divine union, because can you see in this reading how I'm talking about the frustration that is helping energy understand what direction to move towards? If you're deeply invested in energetic connection and you're working through this frustration, it feels a lot like, where do I put it? Like, where do I put it? I don't know what to do with this frustration, right? So it's a lot more of the space of, like I keep on hearing, for a lot of the energy deep within divine union, working on not projecting that frustration onto counterpart at a moment of heightened sensitivity, working through the pathwork of understanding that frustration plus hope equals creativity. So I see this energy that's like, what are they doing? They're being unconventional in their approaches. They're thinking outside the box. Continuing to get clarification between our Ace of Swords and its upright in combination with our Emperor card and its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Justice card in its reversal. Man, like I told you, these relationships right now that are coming together, they're cracking me up, because they're cracking me up because it's the sharing of the mutual audacity. And why is the energy sharing mutual audacity? Because when we share mutual audacity, we recognize that we share the same perspective, right? The mutual audacity that we experience, right? I see this energy right now, and I keep on seeing, like, I see some energy right now that may be either speaking towards the audacity of like just like everything, or specifically the audacity of energetic situations that try to allow time to heal something instead of working on something. Saturn is a lot like Saturn does not like that. Saturn is like, what are you talking about? I don't fix anything. Saturn's like job is not to fix things. Saturn's job is not the context by which they fix things. Saturn tells us, and that's what we see. Like, I love Saturn and Neptune retrograding together to a certain extent, because Saturn and Saturn says, and this is the thing with Saturn. Saturn says to us, I don't fix things, forgetting, right? Like Saturn works in the realm of forgetting and perspective. And so when we have good direction sense, we can observe energy that tries to put time where work should be, which is the understanding of the fact that a healthy partnership is patient, always patient, never waiting, which means that you don't walk away from things, because when you walk away from things, you expect someone else to take care of them. Right? It's like the energy that says, that's not my problem. I'll just come back when there's not a problem anymore, versus the energy that understands that. I keep on seeing, it's like I feel like there's some energy right now that tried to walk away from a problem expecting time to fix it, that's in for a rude awakening, because that's what happens when we try, like that's what Saturn says to us. If you try to say to someone, say goodbye to this, I'm going to make you miss this to solve something, you're usually going to be in for a rude awakening, because if energy is thriving and not pining, then there's no context by which your disappearance is going to remedy something. It's probably going to make something worse, because somebody is getting better in the context of something. So I just keep on seeing that there's some energy right now that's working through the relationship that says a healthy relationship is not built on pine. It's built on thrive. It's not built on pine, it's built on thrive, which says when something's wrong, you don't go away from it hoping that pining, that the another person pining upon it will make them lower their standards. But it's the observation of the work we put into something, right? The ability to identify and recognize what that work is. And that's what I told you. These are the relationships that are built on the mutual effort. Temperance energy. Everything is possible, but the work must be mutual, because if it's not, how dare you? If it's not, how dare you? And this is why I see some of these new relationships that are forming, they are forming in the context of someone coming back. They are coming back. They are getting found. They are sealing. This is energy that is feeling even more validated in the new relationship that they're building, because I can see the energy almost predicating and saying, like a clock, right? And I can see that energy saying, and again, this is the observation that when someone sees us energetically moving on and they try to fix, or they try to come back towards us, that's not energy saying, I've had an epiphany. That's the energy saying, please stop, proceed no further, right? And so I keep on seeing, I told you, this full Aquarius moon, it's epiphany energy. It's epiphany energy. And what does epiphany say? I can see it now. It's all very clear. It's all very clear. And so this is why, right? This is why the energy coming into divine union, clarification between the Emperor card and the Two of Wands. What are we waiting for? Epiphany energy, right? It's the same modality that we see as we're coming through, right? We're coming through towards this Aquarius full moon, because the space by which we identify and recognize what is healthy for us. Look at these relationships right now. This is the energy that's looking towards counterpart, and they're saying, you're the best thing that ever happened to me. But did the energy change them? No. This is the energy that says, you're the best thing that ever happened to me, because this is the energy that says, through you, I choose me. You are the best thing that happened to me, because through you, I choose me, which is the observation of the healthy mirror of counterpart. That when we're doing that work and we feel that reciprocity, the energy I told you, these are those magician partnerships that prioritize the authenticity of self to build the context of the relationship. The mutual appreciation that they're receiving is helping them see what they could have done better in the past, or what was something that they had no control over, but they were energetically receiving, which is why I see this energy taking that Sag energy of that moon and saying, there's no point to, there's nothing to wait upon, right? It's the understanding of the sacred union of the self that occurs in the healthy partnership, that this is the energy saying it feels silly to wait to even unify on that, because it doesn't change it. It's something that feels like it's already energetically sacred, right? Continuing to get clarification between our Two of Wands in its reversal in combination with our Seven of Swords in its upright. And this is what I'm telling you right now. The energy deep within divine union, this is the most annoying stuff right now. This is the most annoying stuff. Clarification coming through. Yeah. There's that five of cups, man. The Five of Cups. The thing about it, for the energy deep within divine union right now, it has to do in the context. I keep on seeing the energy deep within divine union. It feels like the frustration doesn't have, it's not moving. I need to point this out. It's not moving the energy deeper into union, right? You see this right now. For a lot of the energy in separation, it's building upon the direction. The energy deep within divine union already has that sense of direction. So that's what I meant in terms of the energy potentially taking creative or unconventional approaches to navigating current frustrations. Because I keep on getting the same message, working on not projecting. Like when we are being energetically creative, we don't project that frustration onto one another. We recognize and identify that tendency within, and we understand where the work needs to go, right? Like it's a lot of that, like working through the context of doing something in a way. And this is what I like about the energetic counterparts within that space. This is the energy that feel, I keep wondering, it's the mutual feeling of that fortifies, but also allows the energy to, I keep on seeing, it's like new approaches to old problems kind of energy. I told you that Mercury and Leo, right? New approaches to old problems, unconventionality, continuing to get clarification between our Justice card in combination with our Five of Pentacles in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Woo, man, we've got a lot of feminine energy on the table right now. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. Masculine's also here, but I need to stress the thing I keep on seeing with masculine energy right now. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what one feels most aligned to. A lot of masculine energy right now is going through some inner child healing. A lot of masculine energy right now is going through some inner child healing, is what I keep on seeing, especially with that Emperor in its reversal. And why? Because the healthy relationship is the place where masculine feels they can allow their inner child to thrive, right? Much like we talk about here, just like we talk about the fact that the feminine can't give trust to masculine unless they feel that masculine holds standards the same way that feminine holds standards. So too do we recognize the masculine energy that does that work, that feels the stability and solidity of the stable feminine, that allows the masculine energy to move into the space of being allowing their inner child to heal, right? So I keep on seeing that for a lot of the masculine energy right now that's working in this context, what's beautiful about it is there's a lot of conversations, especially for the energy in separation, articulating upon reverence, talking about the sacredness of energetic union. And also, I also feel like there's a lot of those conversations that are dwelling upon the space of talking about the context of the deep portion of healing is not idealizing. This is what I'm not surprised to hear these things coming through right now with that Aquarian full moon coming up, right? When we care about things, we don't idealize them because we want to see the reality of them, is what I keep on hearing. When we are in a healthy space, we don't idealize. We desire to see the reality of them. And I can see some masculine energy right now, the healed masculine energy, working through with the healthy feminine, the frustration of being, I keep on hearing, being in the presence of masculine energy that would rather idealize than understand. Because when we idealize, we are getting into the space of idolatry, right? Nothing is worse than when we try to idolize, because when we idolize, we can't love. And when we idolize something and we look towards the ideal of it, we've already ruined the energetic relationship. Because what is the song you will hear when someone is idealizing you or idolizing you? You're not all you're cracked up to be. And usually we can tell that we are too deep in our ego when we feel that, because when someone says you're not all you're cracked up to be, the immediate thing you have to say is, whose standards were you applying upon that energetic perception? Our job is not to meet, it is not to serve each other's ideals. And we have to be very energetically wary when we look to each other from a place that idealizes, because this is how we ruin relationships before they start. Because when we look towards counterpart as the dream, when you look towards them as a pedestal, they're already built for failure. This is why it's so dangerous to idolize things, because there's no way that something can meet your manifestation goal, which is why you have to make sure that you have manifestation goals that are centered very fully in reality. Because when you have a realistic manifestation goal, you're setting yourself, but when you don't have a realistic manifestation goal, you're immediately setting yourself up for a disappointment. you're immediately setting yourself up for disappointment. And that's why I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy right now, I almost feel like these relationships are almost built in the context of apology, in the space of the masculine that says to feminine, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. It's not fair for anyone to expect perfect from you. But often those who aspire for it will try to talk about the fact that you are that. And this is why often feminine gets very wary when masculine is in the space where they're constantly lauding them, because it's the concept or the anxiety point in seeing that idolatry that sometimes walks us straight into the heart of disaster. And that's why I keep on seeing, like, this is what's so beautiful about these relationships that are coming together right now, right? This is the masculine energy that articulates to feminine and says, I don't want you to be my dream. I want to get to know you. I want to understand all sides of you, because that is where I love you. While for feminine, building into the context with masculine, the masculine that does not feel that they have to put that false sense of self there. The masculine that understands at every moment how tempting it is to want to put that false mask of the self up, right? To try to embody that sense of, I keep on hearing that the false stoicism that articulates upon a masculine that doesn't have feeling. And the feminine also doing that work in healthy partnership with masculine that says, I don't build into the unreasonable expectation of expecting you to fix me or to heal me. I don't look to you to deliver my dreams to me. I look to you to stand beside me as I move towards them. And so we see even now that these are the energetic counterparts, because I told you, what is the relationship we see that is happening in the context of those relationships? The mutual effort. And it's not the fact that these are balanced, right? Because mutual effort does not mean that we give the same things to each other. It's the understanding of counterpart that we say that we provide to each other what we effectively lack within ourselves. That this is how we create stable pillars in our relationships. Continuing to get clarification between our and this is why these relationships moving deeper into divine union right now are like, what are we waiting for? Continuing to get clarification between our 5 of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with our 5 of Cups upright. I'm not surprised to see all this 5 energy out with the Sag energy we've got today. Wheel of Fortune. What are we waiting for? Like, there's the energy. A lot of that energy right here. A lot of that energy moving deeper into divine union, like working through that. What are we waiting for? Because I keep on seeing, like, this energy. You'll recall we talked about the fact that they were going through like a pretty serious heart opening last week, which is the observation of the relationship that allowed them to see the full context of what was missing in past experience. But again, more of the conversation that I'm seeing, the observation of the healthy energetic mirror and healthy partnership, the mutual appreciation that allows us to see more. And I keep on hearing the same message coming through in this energetic connection that's moving deeper in those magician partnerships. You complete me, because through you I see who I aspire to be, right? It is the energy that says to one another, when they say to one another, you complete me, it doesn't mean that they look at each other as in a lack space, but it's the observation that says, you complete me, because through you I see everything. Through you, things that I could not see before find that deepening sense of clarity. And so I keep on seeing that there's a lot of that energy that is almost like, I keep on seeing like advancing those timelines to a certain extent, because I keep on seeing the energy almost feels like it's like the energy saying that it's not about if, it's about when. It's like the energy that almost understands that the space by which they're energetically pledged to the relationship is one that, like, I keep on seeing, like, there's like a deep bond that's there, but the bond is one that feels like it's the arrival point of completion as it relates to the context of what one is able to observe within the relationship's perception, right? It's like I told you, it's like, and I keep on hearing, like, it's interesting because I keep on getting their clear mirrored partnerships. And the reason they're clear mirrored partnerships is a clear mirror, right? It's not the fact that we can't move away from a mirror. Like, mirroring is beautiful when we desire to see the things within it, and we also see what it is that we can improve upon. So I keep on getting like these magician partnerships or the clear mirror partnerships, because it's not the space that they identify that they're perfect, but it's a relationship where one aspires to be even energetically greater than one is. Continuing to get clarification between our star card in its reversal and our Wheel of Fortune final card for today. And again, this is going to go towards the energy deep within divine union. Here's that Page of Cups energy. Now, I got to tell you right now, I'm going to say it again. This is just to show you that qualitatively, there isn't any space on these frequencies that's better or worse. This energy, last week, I was telling you that the energy was hardest for the energy coming into divine union. You see now how it's feeling kind of settled? This now, that frustration has reached the energy deep within divine union. And so for a lot of the energy deep within divine union, the reason that this energy is a little bit more frustrating is it's not amplifying the direction of it's not changing the course of energetic relationship. You see how the frustration is changing the course of relationships right now. But when you're deep within divine union, there's not that, it's not the space by which it's like the observation and understanding of where something's going. But this is why I see that this may be feeling like a very creative time for energy in deep within divine union, particularly as it relates to navigating old frustrations. Because when we're able to take new approaches to old frustrations, what do we find? Breakthroughs, epiphanies. So I feel like that's what we're seeing as we're leading into this full moon in Aquarius, right? It's working through frustration, not pretending it's not there, but taking a unique approach to it, adding that hope that allows for the arrival of new possibility. Bottom of the deck on today's reading. Oh my God, another 5. A lot of fives. We got a lot of 5 energy out. Hold on. We got the 5 of Cups. We got the 5 of Pentacles. We got the 5 of Wands. The only 5 we're missing is the 5 of Swords. And that says, I'm going to tell you right now, the message that we get with all of the 5s, except for the 5 of Swords, is pick your battles, babes. Pick your battles. Not all battles need to be fought is what I'm getting. And the way we can usually tell, the reason I'm going to tell you this right now, okay? And this is what we mean. And I'm going to tell you right now, I told you when I said this can be the best or the hardest part of the retrograde right now, because when we got a Sag moon, which we have till tomorrow, on top of all this Aries energy, it is like short fuse meets try me. It is short fuse meets try me. Okay. And I need to point this out, okay? I was speaking about this right before we started the podcast. The thing with Sag is, how's that honesty doing for you, Sag? Okay, how's that honesty? How's that honesty? How's that cleared little throat chakra there, okay? Being honest about things is not a good enough reason. Our job is not to be honest with each other. You can hurt someone. You can hurt someone far more with honesty than you can with a lie. But that's why I want to tell you right now, I'm not saying, listen, because I was going through this whole thing before we started the podcast. I am not saying that now is not a time to be honest. I am saying, okay, I'm going to save you the reading you have to have with me. I'm saying make sure you are being intentional as to where you are applying your honesty, but more importantly, why you are applying it. Okay? And the way you can determine that is the difference between radical honesty and righteous honesty. What is the difference between radical honesty and righteous honesty? Radical honesty is being able to articulate upon something without the feelings getting in the way, right? It's being able to move, like, what do we talk about? What do we talk about when we talk about non-attachment? It's not disassociation, right? It's being able to see something that's hard to see and just calling it out, right? Just calling it out, right? It's a little bit of that emperor's no clothes energy kind of thing, right? It's the space by which we're able to articulate upon something without allowing the emotions to fog the feeling, right? So I feel like there's a lot of that space here. Like, that's kind of the gift of this retrograde. I'm going to tell you right now, this retrograde right now, sweeping away the cloud of emotions. Okay. It's like, and here's the thing, that can be a beautiful in having clarifying conversations, particularly in relationality to intention and direction. That's why I see so many energies right now potentially moving in. That's also why I see so many relationships potentially falling into separation at this time. What is righteous? What is righteous honesty? Righteous honesty is saying something that's true because you know it hurts another person and makes you feel good to do so. Righteous honesty is saying something that is a hard truth, not to bring good into a situation, but to try to energetically trigger someone. Okay? So I am not saying right now, I am not saying that now is not a time to apply honesty, but I'm saying make sure that you are doing the work to understand and recognize the force of intention on what you are bringing the application of honesty to. Is that honesty radical? Is that honesty articulating upon something that helps to clear the emotional fog, lifts the emotional fog to get to the heart or source of an energetic problem? Or are you doing it because it feels good? Are you doing it because it makes you feel self-satisfied to say something? Be wary of that right now. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you so much for being here and receiving these messages. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, it is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading and you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a personal reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my site, so I'd encourage you to do it there. A couple of updates before we move into personal readings today. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who attended our recent class on the Devil card. Our next class will be held on August 13th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the Tower card. If you would like to become a part of that tarot class program, all you need to do is head over to my profile, to my Substack, and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my Substack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also, as a paid subscriber, have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library Class Archive. Now, it's not necessary to catch up. I'll be doing my best to give you an update on everything we've studied prior to beginning the next class, but if you wanted to catch up, it's a great time to join. You can have like a class every day leading up into that next class. You'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions you may have in relation to anything we've learned or studied thus far. And if you become a founding member to my Substack, not only will you receive a discount to the entire year's worth of classes, you will also have full access to the entirety of the Tarot Church Library Class Archive. That is access to over 15 hours worth of material in an ever-expanding library. You will also have access to a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me where I will meet with you personally to assess where you are on your own personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best of advantage moving towards your personal tarot goals moving forward. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my Substack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my weekly newsletter there, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. You'll also have access to my Mystic Meditation articles, which I release bi-monthly, walking you through the energy we're experiencing. I just wrote one recently on this new moon that we experienced. I'll be writing one shortly on this full moon we've got coming up. I also want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual goals and journey work. I'm also very happy to now offer for those who would like more consistent readings on their tarot journey, weekly tarot insight packages, which is a package of 4 30-minute readings, again, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey. I'm also very happy to now offer dream interpretation readings, which you can purchase per dream or as a series. If you purchase the series, I would encourage you to start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in a dream space. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages, and we will do this again tomorrow.